Javier, thanks very much for joining us. Azora obviously been active in the market, and the third deal for the fund launched in 2020 was two five-star assets in the Algarve. Um, I guess how's the strategy for the fund evolved in terms of target investments?
I think this last acquisition is very much in line, and it goes to the essence of what we came out to the market, which was to invest in European tourism, to invest in the European consumer, and and we want to do it through investing in the hospitality. There, I probably would say that the biggest switch has been that we could be investing both on the resort destinations as well on the city tourism. Today, we think that the window of opportunity it's in the resort segment. So we're probably going to be more biased towards that segment, which it was also for us very natural, and probably delay a little bit the deployment of capital into the city segment. The other angle, we were born as a value-added fund, and we're still believing, in transforming the assets. But probably now we think there is an opportunity to target larger deals, more portfolio versus single asset transactions, and also to work hand by hand with some of the groups, as you know, and probably the minor NH transactions an exception. But in general, this industry across Europe, it's in the hands of family groups. So we are currently working very actively with those family groups, defining some type of JV agreement that will allow us to get exposure and allow them to keep growing their company. So that's probably been the biggest shift since we launched the fund.
Looking a bit more closely at the deal in the Algarve, Javier, what was attractive about that particular deal in terms of your strategy?
Honestly, I think it's a fantastic deal. We are very happy to have been capable of closing on this transaction. I think it's a very good example of a long-standing relationship between Minor NH Group and Azora. We had been partners in the past. They gave us early access potentially to this deal in a preemptive process. And for us, it was a fantastic opportunity to enter in a strategic market like the Algarve, which we think, today it's a very solid market, but still has significant growth opportunity, and doing it through probably two of the top product hotels in the area. Extremely consolidated destinations, very good assets, very good operator with long knowledge of the Algarve market through the Tivoli brand, but still with upside potential, linked to the fact that both assets have gone through, in the case of Carboero, through a full refurbishment, and in the case of Vilamora, they have invested and developed a fantastic mice center that it has not been really exploited so far. So consolidated assets with still upside potential. On the other hand, I think for Minor and NH, it's a good opportunity to partner with one of the relevant players in the resource segment across Europe, Azoras as an investor. And this is an area, NH in Europe historically has been more a city player. I think with the acquisition of Minor, they leverage a lot on Minor's resort experience across Asia and the Middle East. And I think it's a growing opportunity for them to be partnering up with us and trying to identify new destinations across the Mediterranean.
And in terms of new acquisitions, Javier, I guess where and what kind of assets are you focusing on going forward?
Right now, we are very active across the entire Mediterranean and also Portugal and the Canary Islands. So we're actively looking across all the regions. We are targeting leisure linked to European consumer, as I mentioned before. So sand and beach is a very large component of this target, but also we're looking at other forms of hospitality. We're analyzing mountain resorts. We're analyzing hotels linked to sports. So we have a wider target. So now, we're still working on the Algarve market because even though we have a good presence, there is still significant space to grow. We're looking at other Portuguese destinations. We're very active in the Italian market, and we have been, we already own one asset in Sicily, but we are actively trying to close some more transactions in Italy. And we have not been successful so far in Greece, but Greece is a core market for us. And we are putting a lot of internal resources also to grow the Greek market, that is strategic market. In terms of segment, we are not restricted to the 5 stars. At the end of the day, the bulk of the industry is in the 4-star plus segment. So that's, you should anticipate that we're going to be investing in, as well in that segment. But for us, when our investment criteria, what's critical for us, it's that the asset has fundamental value. Okay, we need to find a good skeleton in a good location and in a consolidated demand, and try to build story around that hotel through the refreshments, through the alignment with the operator. That's really what we are targeting. Sometimes we achieve it, sometimes we don't do it, but that's what we are really looking for.
Great to catch up on the fund, Javier, and also the strategy going forward. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you, Richard.